we are doing just as a toy, just a little memory, a homage to his lost country. We are doing a little bit winery.
What kind of winery is there? What are you?
This is what we do. Is we are doing roughly 1,200 bottles of winery year by year. And surprisingly, it was also our Secretary of State used this wine several times.
Okay.
Especially for the conference of all the German-speaking European countries. That means Switzerland, Austria, Liechtenstein, Belgium, because Belgium is also part of German-speaking people. Germany and Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Austria, Luxembourg. Okay. And Mr. Kurz, the Austrian Secretary of State, was really surprised. Grüner Dinge from Germany, but we wrote on the back label why we do that. On the back label, we are writing this our winery was established in 1648 and re-established in 1945 or 1965, and this is a homage to our heritage. Exactly. Good. Okay. This is bone dry. Bone dry, no sugar. Sugar is 0.8 grams, and I think the famous Pfeffer is rare. And this is the result of 2,000 square meters, and we do 1,200 liters, so we are reducing the yield to point out much more the character of the wine, because Gunter Künstler, he likes to carry a lot of fruit. And if the fruit is too much, the wine's not there when you have a liquid.
Exactly. And in terms of vinification, so how long was it on the lees? And
in terms of vinification, we do careful descanning and a cold maceration on the skins for several hours, or roughly 24 hours, to extract all the definition of Gunter Künstler. For me, I want to harvest very ripe grapes. And what is ripe? Ripe is when you see the seeds in the berry, when it's ripe.
And when
if you lift a bunch of a grape, and you hold it into the sun, and if you see then the seeds when it's ripe, and no skin should be destroyed by botrytis. This is perfect. Okay. This is what we are trying to achieve.
I think you did. So it's only stainless steel? Or
it's stainless steel. It's stainless steel, and
I think this wine has a bit more bonus than I expected. So I wouldn't put it maybe in the Rheingau in the left bank, but I would put it maybe in Kamptal or a bit more, like really a bit more richer soil. So
it's a richer soil, of course. It's but we, of course, before we bottle, we are comparing all the wines with our wines, so it was being compared with all the big friends from the Hochheim. And so we had also Vinothekfüllung from Emmerich Knorr side by side, and some Hirsberger wines as well. Of course, this is a toy. You have tasted all the Rieslings, most of the Rieslings, and now before we move into reds, I would like to show you also Sauvignon Blanc. This is also a little homage to Styria.
Do you also taste Austrian wines in your free time, or just to compare maybe?
I have been many times in Austria. I spent much time there because my father, always in June, we had every time in June we had a convention in the Weinviertel, and in Weinviertel and also in Moravia, just to celebrate a lost country, and this is always in the middle of June. And so I took my father, I was the driver, and he took me around, and so I have seen Moravia, and of course we have some friends also in in Weinviertel and Wachau and also in Styria. So it's however it's in my means.
Yeah.
So I like to taste the wines from them as well, because they're trying to produce really very good wines, and they are working very clean, and they have a great passion, and yeah, there's a lot of energy there.
And what's maybe the defining factor? If I taste a Künstler wine, what do you want to get in every wine? What is your style? What you want to?
I would like to answer in a philosophy.
Please.
Good wine is like watching a rainbow. A rainbow is beautiful. And why a rainbow? Because after a heavy rain shower, you have a very clear sky. This is the symbol of health. If you drink alcohol, it should be healthy. Okay. Then you have the sunshine. The sunshine is the symbol for communication. It's not very enjoyable to drink wine by its own and alone. Then you have the essential colors of the nature. If you watch a rainbow, and this is the symbol for natural production. We are working without herbicides since 1992, and so we have no problems with glyphosate, and we do not use copper because copper is a heavy metal, and I do not understand why it's allowed for organic. Yes, I do not understand that, because if you ask somebody in the street, what do you think about heavy metal in a liquid? They say, are you stupid to offer me that? And this is the definition is organic. I think this is not fair. Okay, but this is another thing. And here we have and the rainbow is very long. Another symbol, long. I would like to have a very long aftertaste. If the aftertaste starts at the beginning, then I'm mistaken. I want to create a long taste and harmony. But what is harmony? Harmony is where if you have from each ingredient enough and not too much. This is harmony. Enough acid, not too much acid. Enough alcohol, not too low alcohol. It should be balanced. Balance is for me a very important thing. So now we have here Sauvignon Blanc, grown on limestone, and
which is not so typical for Sauvignon Blanc, right? Anyway.
Yeah, but it's limestone and some slate. There's also some silex, or all kind of silex here. And we want to point out the pyrrhocene, but we do not want to overstretch it. We want to have a developed Sauvignon Blanc, but not overdeveloped. Sauvignon Blanc is dancing on the edge of the knife, because you have to have the right ripeness. But if Sauvignon Blanc is too green, then it's not enjoyable. If Sauvignon Blanc is too ripe, then the typicity of Sauvignon Blanc will disappear. So you have to pick really at the right point.
Yeah, but it's really on the edge of exotic fruits and really ripe peach for me. And I don't miss the gooseberry aromas, and I don't really miss these exotic cream fruits, because I think we are in the old world, so to say. So it's a really typical Rheingau Sauvignon Blanc. So it's not overripe, it's not only linear. It doesn't run through your mouth, which most of the Sauvignon Blancs do. It has a bit more broader mouthfeel. So.
Yeah, we do 80% Riesling, but each other variety we like to do on an international standard, because it doesn't make any sense for me to bottle another variety just in order to have it. There is also some reason behind it. And so we do also some Alvarenga, but now we are switching over to our Chardonnay.
And in terms of vinification, like you already talked about your vineyards, but do you mostly de-stem the wines, right?
Or I'm not We do not de-stem Chardonnay, but everything else is being de-stemmed.
Yeah, why?
With Chardonnay, you have a little bit more reduction through the stems, and I think here with Grüne Veltliner to point out the typicity of this variety is better without stems. And Riesling is also completely destemmed, and Pinot Noir as well. So.
Beautiful Salto glasses, just a bunch of them. Do you usually use Salto glasses or?
We are using Salto glasses for our this is for our tasting, because if you have Salto or if you have very good glass, maybe it's also Riedel is producing very good glasses, then you have a much better possibility to decide.
Okay.
Because this is kind of a gas chromatograph. Gas chromatograph is a machine in the chemistry where you can really measure the right amount of every ingredient.
Okay.
And I think that here those glasses were so brutal. They are pointing out each fruit. And this is what we like to have, because we have to see also our customers' side of the table, because we have to have the ability to understand the wines with their eyes, with their taste, with their imagination, or whatever. And a very good glass is helping to make the very best decision. So it is a whole circle. The beginning with the right material to plant, the right spacing, the right soil, and also the right pruning. We do soft pruning. We are the first winery in the country which is doing the soft pruning. We started that in 2012, excuse me, and we do hopefully the right destaining and the right pressing, and this is the reason why we do not, since 2016, where we have changed a lot in our cellar, there was no need of refining of the juice necessarily. No gelatine, no.
So vegan wise?
Nothing. Just pure the nature. The nature is offering us so much to us, and we should use it in the right way. But we have to be careful.
So what is soft pruning?
Soft pruning, this was established by Mr. Marco Simonit. Marco Simonit, he was an advisor in Colli Orientali, in Friaul, Styria, and Slovenia. The former days were the heart of the Austrian Empire, very in the center. And with the soft pruning, you're not allowed to use a saw, no big ones. You're only pruning into the wood of the second year, and this is allowing that the old content of the wine is growing and growing and growing, and you do not hurt the system, the flowing system of the plant. Human beings, we have arteries and veins.
Yeah.
And a wine has phloem and xylem, up and down. We have the transportation of our blood, and the plant has the transportation of water flow. Okay, in a system very similar to veins and arteries. And if you make big wounds, the flowing goes smaller and smaller. And how does the plant react in a stress situation? Will be a collapse. But if you allow the plant to grow always a little bit, year by year, when you do not hurt wet system, point one, and you have always enough supply of the juice at all time. And this is very important to keep as many as possible plants per hectare alive. For example, Bella Vista, sparkling company in Italy, we do 200 hectares. And with that system, they have gained 20% of the wines. That means 20 hectares. 20 hectares more wines, 20 hectares more yield. Because the vines were dying because of the big ones. People which were not educated did. And so the soft pruning is a very intelligent manufacturing, an art of manufacturing. To understand each wine, because each plant should carry top fruit. And if you prune each wine in the same way, when there's no need to run 3 times through the vineyard, of course this is marketing-wise, it's perfect. Selecting like crazy. But if you ask the bank account, because you have to pay for it, and so it's a very smart idea. It's good to choose the right point of harvest for each vineyard, not for each plant. And if every plant is similar pruned, then you have perfect conditions. This is the system of Marco Siemens and his friends CH, and they established that system in 1988. And in the meantime, we are doing that all over the world. For example, Röderer does it for in the Champagne area. Robert Mondavi does it, and also we do it in Chile, we do it in South Africa, and wherever. It's a very smart system because it was very impressive for me because there was a guy who introduced us into that system, and it was for 150 wine growers in the Rheingau, and we were sitting in a hall, and then you open the window. Oh, come on! Can you prune for us? That's fine. The next time, come on, let's filter the wine. Oh, no, you have to be educated. Listen, for pruning, you are hiring not educated people because you're not aware of the healthiness of the wines. But for filtration, for winemaking, oh yeah, of course you have to be educated. There's a big difference. So from good vineyards are coming good fruits. From good fruits, you can make a top wine without interrupting the nature. I've been talking a lot, so Chardonnay.
Please. So the left one, also in my glasses, that was in first year barrique. Do I smell it well? Or at least.
Let me smell. So the left one must be
the left one is this one. And the
one with less oak is our Kalkstein.
Okay.
Kalkstein is limestone, and we have a very old spot. There's an old map here, and there was a point where the Celtic people 2,500 years ago have been digging for limestone. And after them, the Roman people came because mines, and was during the Roman times it was called Mogontiacum, and it was the biggest city north of the Alps. Number 2 was Colonia and Kripina. Today it's Cologne. And Augusta Treverorum, then it's Trier. But Mainz was a point where steadily 3 legions were stationed. That means 18,000 soldiers plus were people. So and on this spot they have been digging for limestone, and as you know, Chardonnay loves limestone.
True.
And by an accident, I was persuaded by a good friend of mine 25 years ago, and he said, you have to plant there Chardonnay because this soil is so unique and so rare, in spite of the fact that the Chardonnay is number one in the world of white wines with 200,000 hectares, as we have learned.
So very broad and kind of, it's very well integrated acidity, so it's. But how long do you? It's 18 vintage, right?
It's 18.
Yeah. It's also very more vintage. Huh?
18 was very long.
Yeah, it's very rather kind of lower acidity, I would say.
This is the
Very,
reason
very spark.
I wanted to show you also these varieties because nobody knows about that. And everybody's surprised, hey, this is really serious quality. And it's not only a toy.
But the barrique one, I was actually a bit afraid, to be honest, on the nose that it will be too much barrique influence, but it's not. I feel a bit more wood tannins, but it just more complexity.
Yeah,
it's very well balanced. It's just one.
It's from a vineyard with our highest amount of limestone. And there's a tremendous content of calcium carbonate, and this fits so well to Chardonnay. And as I said, I want to have it in balance, I think.
Yeah.
The wood with a 60% new oak and 40% second and third year. I think this is a good integration of everything.
Yeah, true.
And also you have also word Trinkfluss, drinkability. Wine is very important. The body language on the table should be always to pull your glass and not to push it.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah. And what would you eat with it? Do you have like a special Rheingau meal that you would like to?
I think veal would be good with mushrooms and noodles and the creamy sauce. Classic dish for that.
Okay. Do you have also any special dishes for your GG Rieslings? I know it's a broad generalization because you have a lot of different profiles, but what do you like to eat with it? Most of them.
I personally I like very much fish.
Yeah.
Also a grilled dorade would be good, but also veal is a wonderful dish to go with a really dense Riesling.
You also have some fishes in the Rhine?
Of course, it's Rhine is getting healthier and healthier and cleaner and cleaner.
Okay.
And so we have also zander and fish like that in the Rhine as well.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So, but maybe just to go a little bit under your skin, because if I can be really honest, I feel like you are a very precise German Geschäftsführer. That's my first impression, to be honest.
when you saw me in my vineyard suit,
But just to go a bit under your skin, so what do you like to drink in your free time, and how do you like to spend it? Maybe if you are not in the winery.
Yesterday night we had Horst Sauer, Eschendorfer Lump, Silvaner, GG.
Okay.
And sometimes we do have Grüner Berliner from Franz Hirzberger. We have also Zierek from Temment, Sauvignon and also Morillon. I like a lot Muscatella Perz from Groß, Styria.
Okay.
I like Etienne Saussé, I like Good Saussé. I like also very good Sauvignon from Tokara, South Africa.
Okay.
And so we are drinking around the planet, just to know what's going on. It's interesting, and I communicate enough with our wines to know what's going on. And it's good to compare, but it's also to be knowledgeable is also very important in the business. The business is growing, and the variety and the variation of wines in the world is also getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I like also to drink some good Tuscan wines. I'm not such a great fan of Piedmont, but I'm a fan of Rome.
Okay.
And
so you're in for a bit more elegant kind of.
yeah, I like to have density, flavor, and length.
Okay.
And I like also very good. I like the good ones from Napa Valley, of course. If it's from Sonoma Valley, the very good Pinot Noirs. Central Coast is also. Santa Ynez Valley is a hot spot for Pinot Noir for me, and also the Hirsch Vineyard in Sonoma, which is also a hot spot for Pinot Noir.
Sure. Yeah, I also like it. So maybe if you are talking about Pinot Noir, can we try some?
Of course. So you like to move from young to old, or from old to young?
Yeah, from young to old.
From young to old. Okay. So
These are barrel samples?
Yes.
Okay.
No, we have to change it. This is 19. Yeah,
okay. So for the Pinot Noir, you use mostly first field, so new oak, or
no. I think I'm a cold maker.
Yeah.
I'm a tailor.
Okay.
And so if the suit is too big for the guy, that means too much oak, when he's living in a tent. If the suit is too tight for the guy or for the lady, then she's packed. So it should fit. And so for that we have to make.
So
we are taking our time.
So 19. How was this vintage so far?
19 was also very, very hot, very similar to 2018, but 2018 was dry as well during harvest time, during September and during October. But in 2019 we had twice a rainfall of 30 liters per square meter. And this was an indication, especially after the second rainfall, for fungus, for botrytis and things like that. And so we had to sort a lot, which is what I really dislike. Okay, and put your glasses here. I dislike that because it's very costly, and but we managed it together, and we have to reflect very, very seriously that we do have with Riesling and Pinot Noir. Riesling 80% and Pinot Noir 15%. We do have 95% of our wines have a thin skin, so they are easily attacked by rainfalls, and they are building up botrytis. Okay, and this is a danger, but this is our history. We are doing here Pinot Noir. We are doing Riesling here since 1435, and Pinot Noir since 1135. So there's no need to go into other varieties of wine, I think.
And would you say that you use French barrels, right?
Yes. French, and with basic wine we are using also large oak. Large oak means bigger than 600 liters.
And for Pinot Noirs you always use barriques, but not always first field, but you always barriques?
PS, 228.